Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about The Smashing Machine, a new movie out in theaters right now. And in The Smashing Machine, it stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as MMA fighter Mark Kerr. It is towards the beginning of his career and, his battle with drug addiction, especially steroids, after losing his first fight. And also him trying to pick back up in terms of his mental health, his physical health, in order to get ready for the next fight. To get things started, first and foremost, what I liked about the movie, this is a very different role for Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson, for the last decade and a half, he's mostly been playing, nice, wholesome guys. He's not really playing anything different than that. The closest he got to playing something different was in Black Adam, and that was it. In this movie, though, he's playing someone extraordinarily different. Mark Kerr isn't exactly the nicest person around. He's not, a terrible person or anything like that. You understand where he's coming from. It's just that, his attitude isn't exactly the nicest around. He's kind of an a-hole, but in that you can tell his attitude's more about his passion for what he's doing and the people around him, rather than because he's just an a-hole. Not only that, but he's also stepping off his comfort zones a little bit. The characters he plays usually aren't drug addicts, but Mark Kerr was and is in this movie. So yes, he's doing something very different in this movie, and he is just absolutely nailing it. Never once did I thought I was looking at a stereotypical Dwayne Johnson character. I thought I was looking at someone different. I also have to give some props to the direction and execution of the movie. Benny Safdie directed this movie, and how he handled the subject matter of the movie, I thought was brilliant. He never glorified any of the grittier, nastier details about Mark Kerr's life. Kerr's drug addiction and steroid use, none of that is glorified. You see it taking a toll on his body, which is what you should do. And you see why, he tried to pick himself back up and become a better person. And, from a visual standpoint, this is a good looking movie. They shot most of the film on 16mm film, as opposed to shooting on 35mm or digital. And they did have enough of a budget to afford 35mm. The reason why they didn't do that is because the visual appeal and aesthetic of the movie needed 16mm. Their decision to shoot on 16mm was an artistic choice rather than a, budgetary choice. You can tell because this movie would not be as, appealing, especially with its, gritty tone, if it were shot on 35mm or 70mm or digital. Now, I did hear there were some scenes shot on 70mm. I think it might have been the fights, but that's about it. Now, when it comes to the narrative of the movie, while it's well structured and well written, on one hand, on the other hand, it's kind of your basic, average biopic about a very famous person. Now, I know they can't really help that because, this is Mark Kerr's life, from what I understand. He made sure they stuck pretty closely to what really happened. And, it's not entirely their fault. But, if the story writing was, executed a lot better than it was, if it was gold standard execution instead of silver standard execution, which is still good, you would have forgotten about it. But it wasn't gold standard, it was silver standard, which again is still good, but you don't forget. You don't forget it, you notice it, and that's just how it is. And since I'm getting into some issues now, the musical choice I thought was kind of weird. Some of it sounded nice, I will admit that. But others, it had like this techno vibe, which I did not really get. I did not get the techno vibe. Maybe experimental orchestral, that would have been fine. But techno, yeah, I did not understand that. So guys, at the end of the day, The Smashing Machine, I thought it was a really good movie. Dwayne Johnson is stepping out of his comfort zone and doing something different, and is actually excelling in it. Mark Kerr as a character is written very well. The story, while familiar and not super original, is still well written. And again, apparently this actually happened to Mark Kerr, so can't really blame them too much. And the direction and execution is well done. It's not a perfect movie, but I think it's a really strong movie. And, I do recommend watching it if you have the time. I'm going to give The Smashing Machine an 8. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please don't forget, I have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. Please go check it out. And as per usual, please remember, the Bletsky will return.